Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? So, the hype has just gone mental because we now have a launch date for Starfield, as well as a date for the upcoming showcase as well. And to be completely honest, I don't think it's quite where anybody would have predicted. So, let's have a gander. Okay, folks, so within the last 40 minutes as I sit here and record this, Bethesda have just dropped a new video on their YouTube channel with Todd Howard basically giving us the dates of the Starfield showcase, which is coming up, and the actual launch date for the game. And some predictions were not entirely wrong. I don't think anybody was entirely right in their predictions either on this one, but yeah, this is mental, and the hype is real. I'm kind of still bouncing a bit in my chair having got this news, and really, really cool. So, what's the deal? Well, I'm sure you want to know the release date first, and shall I keep you waiting? No, I'm not going to do that to you. The release date is the 6th of September. So, yeah, we got a little bit of a delay on that. So, high five to those of you who were predicting a delay. I don't think any of you got the actual area of launch right, but, you know, you were right on the delay thing. As for the showcase, well, that one is coming out on the 11th of June, so part of Xbox and Bethesda's summer showcase from the sound of this, because the timing lines up there, a year on from the last delay. So, yeah, this is interesting. The more reliable rumours that were coming out still had it slated for June, which raises a number of curious questions. And the actual result of September, I know some people are saying, oh, they'll push it back to the autumn, they'll push it back to the end of the year, stuff like that. 6th of September, I mean, we can debate for ages whether or not September and the first week of September is autumn. My birthday is like a week and a half after that, so as to whether or not we're in summer or autumn, I could argue that one, but pretty much on the line between the two, so okay. And they've pushed it back 3 months. I'm surprised by this, but also kind of not. That's not a big slide back, 3 months. It's not a tiny one, but it's not a big one. And it's also about 3 months from where we thought it was going to be now, so they've added another quarter to it. The why part is a big question. In terms of why they've pushed sort of just announcing it now and stuff, well, obviously, the closer you get to the date, the more absurd it would be to delay it. Last time round, they delayed it by 8 months. 7 months? 7 months. And they announced that 5 months out. So the bigger the delay you need, the more obvious that's going to be. You know, if your game needs another 6 months, you're going to see that sooner than if it needs another week. So the shorter delay and the shorter pre-warning on that is not surprising. So the other question is, does Starfield actually need a delay in and of itself, on its own basis? Who knows is the answer. We're never going to get an answer on that one from within Bethesda. That's just not something they're going to comment on. But educated guesses here. We all know what happens when Bethesda launch a game. They make massive open-world games, hugely complex systems. They're vast. Every game they've released have been, and as such, especially given that they're made with teams that are half or less the size of other companies making similar sorts of things, they have their share of bugs. So a few extra months to put a bit of extra polish on it, and on what is going to be their largest game ever as well. Well, I don't think anybody's going to call that a bad thing, or a bad idea. And we've all been waiting a long time for the next Bethesda game, as Todd Howard pointed out in this little video, which of course I'll link down below. So, a little bit of extra time, get it as good as they possibly can is not a bad thing. On the other hand, the other big question is Redfall. That drops on the 2nd of May, it's been delayed itself. And I think this has really got a lot to do with why Starfield is delayed. I don't think they desperately had to have this delay for Starfield, or for Starfield on its own rights. I think it's probably because a month between Starfield and Redfall is, or rather the other way around, is not enough, really. Starfield is huge. There's no denying that. It's huge. As soon as they start going crazy on the marketing, anything else they're doing, and obviously it's a different developer, but it's the same publisher making Redfall, it's just going to flatten Redfall. And Arcane, who make great games, really cool games, really interesting like concepts and ideas in their games, are going to get absolutely flattened if Starfield comes right out behind it, because it'll just get crushed by the juggernaut that is a Bethesda launch. So I think the reason they've pushed it back is so that the years of hard work that the team of Arcane have put into their game, which looks really cool, by the way, you should look into Redfall if you haven't. It's an interesting thing that's a lot more to it than might have first appeared to as well. So definitely interested in playing that when it drops in May. But yeah, getting that absolutely crushed by the release date of a related game, you know, in terms of who it's coming from and part of the same family of studios, would really suck for the team Arcane. So, and also from a pure business standpoint, it crushes out a segment of potential revenue generation from the new product launch. So there's a whole load of reasons for spreading it out a little bit more, and it just makes sense as a decision. And I think that's probably influencing it more. Meanwhile, BGS, Starfield developers, have probably just gone around and gone, you know what? You're going to give us a couple of extra months, we're just going to use it. Because why wouldn't they, you know? That is my hunch on things. Obviously, there's been some stuff you might have seen on Twitter and places like that recently where people who are a bit more focused on Redfall, stuff like that, have been invited in to pre-play it. Not me, but, you know, that's fine. It's going to be a B game on my channel rather than a tentpole thing, so definitely looking forward to it. And the Redfall marketing is starting to spin up over the coming weeks and stuff, and there's going to be a lot more about 2 weeks from now as well, so it does make a lot of sense to sort of separate those two out a bit. But there we go. June the 11th, wasn't it? Yes, says checking his notes, for the showcase. Works as well in that sort of situation, because it means the showcase comes in just over a month after Redfall will launch as well. So, yeah, basically even the showcase and the marketing and stuff is not going to kind of stamp too hard on what Redfall's doing there either. So that's my big hunch as to why this is going the way it's going and the way things will go from here on out. Again, we'll have to see, because just about every guess has been at least partially wide of the mark. So, yeah, my guess is going to be Redfall's going to spin up its marketing even more in the coming weeks, up to its launch in early May, and then after that, there'll be a little bit more afterwards, obviously, in sort of the post-launch marketing that always goes on anyway. And then come June, you'll have the E3 replacement that Xbox and Bethesda will do. I know E3 is happening this year, but I don't think they're going to be there. I think they're doing their own thing. So that will all happen, and that'll give you a 3-month run to Starfield, and that's where the marketing will go nuts. I suspect this summer you won't be able to turn around twice without running into something Starfield related. So there we go. That's basically how I think this is going to pan out. I think this is probably the right call, and it's a good decision. I mean, waiting an extra 3 months for Starfield, I'm kind of, you know, I'm scratching at the door already because I'm dying to get my hands on this. As I've said many times before, space plus Bethesda RPG, that hits all my buttons very, very quickly. Like, they've just gone down the line and pressed them all, so couldn't be better for me. But waiting for it is like, I want this. Anyway, can you tell I'm a bit hyped up for this? But yeah, really, really cool to get this news. My plan for probably tomorrow, is to have a look at this video in more detail, and we'll try and see what we can pull out of it and look at the cool stuff in there and analyse stuff. And we'll have a bit more of a deep dive into this trailer and stuff tomorrow. But I wanted to get this news out now and my thoughts and stuff on it. But yeah, do watch out for a video in the next day or two on the details of this trailer, and yeah, keep it here for all Starfield news and stuff like that, because everything I can get my hands on I will be devouring and sharing with you guys as and when I can, because really hyped for this, really, really looking forward to getting my hands on Starfield and playing this game. Cannot wait, it is. To say it's up my alley would be a gross understatement. So yeah, really excited for this. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you found this interesting, informative, and are as excited for this as I am. Really, really looking forward to this game. Do drop likes and subs and all that good stuff, notification bell and all that, if you want to catch up with everything I'm doing, and I'll chuck a playlist link up here somewhere for other related stuff to Starfield. Some of it's going to involve now proven to be inaccurate theories. Some of that involves stuff that's a bit more focused on what's in the game and what styles it can have and stuff like that. So do check that out if you want to know a bit more about the game. And yeah, tons of Fallout content as always as well. And we are, of course, live streaming Fallout 76, doing Fallout builds, that sort of stuff. Which will, of course, continue alongside Starfield when that launches, and we're playing other games on the side as well, which I've just got a little bit more time to squeeze stuff in, so, well, I'm going to have to rejig my summer schedule, aren't I? But yeah, do join us for live streams as well. We do those Monday to Friday on the channel as well, and it's about 8 PM GMT, so yeah, do join us for that. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.